Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society is excited to launch an innovative podcast titled Inspiring Community. The Society is very aware of the diverse, multifaceted elements of our community that come together to support children, youth, and families as they celebrate success and rise to overcome significant financial, social, and mental health challenges. Hosts Mike Clark, Manager of Public Relations and Fund Development, and Tina Allen, Manager of Community Outreach, will be reaching out to many of the Society's community partners and resource organizations to provide insight and helpful suggestions to help overcome these obstacles. The goal will be to provide a practical toolkit for listeners on topics such as managing parenting issues, financial strain, self-care, strengthening relationships, and so much more. The hope is that by talking with community experts, listeners feel more connected within a community of support. Join us as we look at new ways to reach for a better tomorrow. In this episode, we speak with Joan Simpson, co-founder and program coordinator of Beauty Is Me.
Welcome, Joan. Can you share a bit more about yourself?
Of course. My name is Joan Simpson, and I've been a resident of Windsor for over 35 years. And this is a community that I call my home. I have a sense of belonging here. My personal and professional development happened here in Windsor. And so it's just amazing to really be a part of making a positive impact in our community, because this is where I call home. I'm also a mother of 3 children, beautiful children, and my family is also my rock, and they allow me to do the things that that I love to do. And as well, I'm a social worker background. I have my degrees in social work. And I feel like that has allowed me to kind of just do more advocacy work and be more a part of the community. Having this amazing training in social work has really allowed me to understand the complexities of social justice, and I just really want to be a part of that work.
That's wonderful. And I'm a social worker too, so that really resonates for me, that advocacy, community work.
Yes.
That's all fantastic.
Yes.
And we can't wait to hear more about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, Joan, I'm so excited to have you here today. I know we were both involved in the early stages of Beauty Is Me with searching out funding and that type of thing. And you are a person that when you want something, you know how to go after it. So anyhow, this is such a successful program. So tell us a little bit more about what is Beauty Is Me and why was this program created?
Wow. It just hits home to me for Beauty Is Me because it is such it's a transformative project designed to really nurture the culture and sense of self in our Black and biracial children. I don't know if that makes sense, but really for me, it's like a cultural revival, an opportunity to empower, an opportunity to celebrate our resilience just in regards to our cultural identity and our cultural heritage. Beauty Is Me really came about because there was this critical gap in the work that we were a part of with Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society. Yeah, so we were a part of this advisory committee, and it's called the Black African Caribbean Canadian Advisory Committee. And it was an amazing partnership with Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society. And on this committee, we had the opportunity to really be the voice of reasons or the voice of sharing some of our cultural backgrounds when it comes to really supporting our Black and biracial children that are in and out of care in WCAS. And so there was this critical gap in the support for foster parents who have Black and biracial children in their care, specifically around hair care. And for us, once we heard of some of the concerns that foster parents had as far as taking care of Black and biracial children, and the genuine need that they also had wanted to know how to do this, we thought of Beauty Is Me. And so we, came up with this idea to bridge this gap in providing hair care support to foster parents who have Black and biracial children in their care. And so, it started there, honestly. We started to connect with Black-owned hair salons in Windsor and sharing this idea to see how they could be a part of this work and providing this support to non-Black foster parents who have, Black children in their care. That was really the specific need. It was really foster parents who are non-Black who really wanted to know how to best take care of our children's here. And so when we reached out to the 3 salons that we've partnered with now, they were fully on board. And so with that support, we then connect back. The Beauty Is Me team. We connect back with Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society, and they were just fully said yes, because they realized that yes, there was a need, and it just started from there. And so, since that time, we have just been providing workshops for non-foster parents, and we provide workshops to non-Black foster parents, caregivers, and guardians who are raising and loving our Black and biracial children in their care. And it's really centered around hair care, and we were able to really connect these parents to community resources, to these hair salons who wanted to provide this support and wanted to give some hands-on demonstrations, some guidance, and even just to share the cultural connection that we as Black individuals have with our hair, and how that is so much connected to our sense of self, our beauty, and our self-worth. And it's so unique, and oftentimes when we talk about this, sometimes it's not really understand, but it is that when we have the opportunity to take care of our hair and to braid it and to style it in these amazing, hairstyles, it makes us feel just beautiful. And we just feel comfortable in that identity. And so we wanted to make sure that, those who are taking care of our children have that opportunity to get that information so they can also be able to provide that support to children.
Okay, Joan, that is just fabulous. And, to think that the whole foundation of this is around hair, but there is so many different dynamics around it for somebody socially, from a personality perspective, of building self-confidence, self-esteem. So saying that, with the Beauty Is Me program, what other events, programs are within the main program that you offer?
Well, I have to honestly say that we're excited to say that we have grown so much. And yes, you are right. We started out with the idea of providing this hair care support, but then we realized that our children also need to be able to connect it to representations of themselves. And a lot of times, our Black and biracial children might not see them in the spaces that they occupy all the time. And so we wanted to be a part of that that transformation. And so what we did was we started to, gather books that are Black written for children, that shares our Black stories about our hair, about our skin, about our features. And these children's storybooks has representations of Black children in these books, Black characters in these books. And they're also written by Black writers. So our children can really identify with the stories that they're reading. And so we started to gather books, purchase books here and there. And then, then we, of course, went back to Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society and, asked to see how we could maybe write a grant together, or, if they could provide some seed money at the time so we can build what we've started. And we're so gracious to say that they have done that. And so we were able to purchase all these different books for children and give them out for free. So when the parents actually access the hair care support at the hair salons, a child is given a book when they leave. And that book has stuff like I am beautiful, or I am enough, or my hair is beautiful, or my curly hair is perfect. Just all these different affirmations just in the title alone. And when the child opens that book, it's just amazing. They see themselves. The stories are relatable to them. And, we've heard from just the parents, foster parents, caregivers and guardians saying this has just been transformational, how it's just been amazing. And they didn't even know that these resources were available. So we're happy to be a part of that support, that we were able to not only connect resources to the families, but also, to the adults, parents, and caregivers, but also to the children as well. Because we know children, most of the times, they like books. Well, we hope they do. Now they like iPods and all these other gadgets, but you know what I mean. So we wanted to really provide, the opportunity for them to be able to read a book and relate to it and see themselves in the book.
Speaking of stories, can you share a story or two with us which demonstrates the impact of the Beauty Is Me on young girls who are involved with the program?
Oh, of course, there's so many, and we have actually posted so many testimonials from our children on our website, talking about how, they appreciate, specifically the children, just even just regarding the books, getting these books. That's just one story. And then, just recently we've been, I was talking to one of her hair salon partner, and she was saying to me that, Joan, now the kids come in and they're not even paying attention to their hair care. They're like, can we get a book? That's the focus, and it just hits home because we know that impact is tremendous, because we know exactly why they're asking for that book, because they get to see themselves in that book and they get to read the stories that they can identify with. So those are some of the stories that we've been able to hear from our parents and from our partners.
And with all of this going on, we know that you are everywhere and doing everything, but you do have a team. So talk to us about the team that you have to support Beauty Is Me.
I have an amazing team, and I have to give them a big shout out because they understand the vision from the very beginning. And obviously we all have, most of us on the team, we have our lived experience, so we could identify with it just right away. So I have Michael Brown. He is one of the co-founder. And Lacey Carthy is also a co-founder. Princess Small is a co-founder as well. And Jesse Hector is a Beauty Is Me member, and he helps with our social media page and, all the cute posts that you see on our social media.
You always need somebody to help with that.
Yes, we do actually. And I have Samantha Hall, who has been with us from the beginning, and she has mixed children, and she really wanted to be a part of the work because she could identify with it. So yeah, it's great to have the team, and hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody.
Now, Joan, in recent years, unfortunately, there's been an increase in some social issues, challenging times, all of that we're aware of. So keeping that in mind, can you tell me why Beauty Is Me is so important, particularly in the fight against Black racism?
Wow, it's such a good question. Beauty Is Me, to me, and to our team, is really an intervention approach to addressing or dismantling this notion of beauty that is so connected to this colonialism idea and this Eurocentric idea of what is considered beautiful. And for many of us, we've often heard this Eurocentric notion of beauty that is tied to white skin, Eurocentric features, and oftentimes it exclude and devalue this, systemically, I should say, systemically it devalues and it exclude our Black identity. And I wanted to mention systemically because it's not just face value. It's so deep, and it perpetuates prejudice and discrimination, and it often allows us to feel like we're not a part as, in our own Black identity, which is what we have inherited. This is it. And so, we wanted to be a part of the movement to dismantle this notion of beauty that only fits a specific space or a specific race, and it doesn't include all of us who has different features that we've always celebrated, that we love. And so we wanted to be a part of that work to dismantle that.
So again, Joan, thank you for sharing that with us, because kudos to you and your team for making inroads into what is a huge issue, not just locally, but globally, and something that definitely, we need to tackle as a society. But having said that, February is Black History Month.
Yes.
And the first airing of this episode will take place during February. So want to get your take on what does Black History Month mean to you, both personally and professionally?
Wow. Personally, Black History Month for me means everything. And I can actually say that as an adult now. But growing up, you just don't have that understanding, right? But as I start to, understand who I am in my own Black identity and start to embrace and love that, I really appreciate Black History Month even more. It means to me just a time of reflection and a time to really appreciate, those who have trailblazed this path for me. No race attached, like anybody who has been a part of this movement of really, wanting to celebrate all people, all race. For me, Black History Month means a lot. It's a moment for me to reflect, and it's a moment for me to be appreciative, and it's also a moment for me to be humble, that I'm really a part of making an impact. Me, Jamaican by birth, come from a small family in Jamaica, not really knowing that I could do great work or great things. And, just having this opportunity to be in another country and being surrounded by amazing people, I have an understanding of, what I am, the impact that I am making. And Black History Month to me is what that embodies. Making a difference, making a positive change, and just staying consistent with that, because the next generation deserves it.
Absolutely. And while this month is really a time for celebration, as you said, it is that time for deep reflection and learning. And what messages would you want to give to Black children and youth about Black History Month?
Wow. Big questions. For me, I want our Black and biracial children to really celebrate their Black identity. I want them to celebrate their Blackness, their Black features, their Black hair, their Black skin. I want them to celebrate that, because our history of celebrating who we are as a people predates colonialism, right? It transcends so far. And I really want our children to embrace this cultural revival within themselves, to understand that they are beautiful. And I want them to know that they are enough, and that they are worthy, and that they are loved. And, I want them to also know that, that they're walking on shoulders of giants like myself, who has blazed this path for a better world for everybody. And that they are a part of that legacy, and that their dreams and their values and their goals matter. And I want them to be in spaces and be comfortable in their own Blackness in those spaces.
That's incredible, because we're not just talking about Black History Month. This is the work that you're doing every day, day in and day out, 365 days of the year, which is so important, not only for those children, but for us as allies. I am a white individual, and I've had the opportunity to learn so much and be able to just really be reflective and, as you say, humble in that. And so congratulations to you and your team. You must be very
Tina.
proud that you get to do this work.
Thank you.
And get them to see that,
Thank you.
as I said, every day. So what can the community do to support Beauty Is Me?
They can actually, there's so much. But I would say, I want to encourage the community to visit our website, to learn more about what we're doing, and to just be a part of that work. It just takes just saying I want to be a part of that work, right? And just moving towards that. Supporting what we do. Obviously, we're always looking for opportunities for grants and opportunities to have that financial support to do more work. But definitely would like to see the community get more involved, and even to allow us to be in other spaces where our children are occupying, right? We could have books in those spaces, different things that we could do in those spaces. So just to have our community be a part of what we're doing.
Makes perfect sense.
I agree.
So, Joan, how can the community then reach out to you to take advantage of your amazing programs?
Yes, they can. To learn more about us, they could visit us at our website, which is www.beautyisme.ca. On that website, we have our information about our social media page. For Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. They could even send us an email at beautyisme.ca@gmail.com.
So we talked about a lot today. You've talked about a lot. Is there anything else we haven't discussed that you would like to share?
I definitely want to take this time to thank Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society and I'm not just saying this because I'm here, I say it everywhere I go. I just want you to know, for really believing in us. Just 4 professional individuals in the community volunteering their time here on an advisory who came up with this idea. And Windsor-Essex, Windsor-Essex Children's Aid Society just embraced it and supported it even up until today. And I really want to take the time to thank you. And also I want to, thank our funders. And I didn't bring all of them here today, but the Gender Equality Funds, Windsor-Essex Community Foundation of Canada, the Government of Canada, Ontario Trillium Foundation. I want to thank our funders as well. Thank you.
That's great. And we thank you so much, because we can't do the work that we do without your support. So we need each other, that's for sure, to make sure that our children, youth, and families have what they need when they need it.
Yes. And I also want to, can I do that? I also want to thank our parents who have access to our programs. We've met some amazing parents, and we actually truly value that experience. And also we want to thank the staff who has reached out to us on many occasions. Thank you for the emails and, wanting to know where to connect a child to get their hair care done. We appreciate those connections as well. So, thank you.
Well, I just want to add my thanks too. The title of our podcast is Inspiring Communities, and I think this particular topic, Beauty Is Me, everything that's happening between yourself, your team, and I know it takes a village.
Yes, it
it is definitely an inspiration to the young people that are experiencing it. They get to be themselves. They get to be individuals, and it makes an impact, a difference in their lives. So thank you, Joan, for coming today. What we want to offer through these podcasts are resources and support to those who listen. And definitely, this is a huge resource, particularly for children in the Black community.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. It was a
Appreciate
great way
it.
to wrap that up, Mike. And all I have to add is Happy Black History Month.
Thank you. Happy Black
Have a
History
good
Month.
one.
Yeah.